Alright, so this is Aiden Hampton, and I will be doing a presentation on the invasive species cat-clawed vine, northern snakehead, and Siberian chipmunk. Let's begin. So the northern snakehead, its scientific name is China argus, and its common name is northern snakehead, also simply called snakehead. So, the snakehead is native to China, Russia, North Korea, and South Korea. The fish found its way into the United States through fish markets and the aquarium trade. So the date and place of introduction. So the fish was first discovered in Crofton Pond, Maryland in June 2002, but was eradicated through rhodonone poisoning. The fish was found again in 2004 in the lower Potomac River, but analysis of the age structure of the population revealed the snakeheads could have been in the system since 1998. The 2002 discovery led to a lot of media and led to the creation of two, in my opinion, hard movies, Snakehead Terror and Frankenfish. Frankenfish having an actual surprising success, so it's not as hard. I just wanted to include this is like a fun fact, and I find it really stupid that somebody could come up with the plot of a movie, including the northern snakehead going on land and eating people. It's I don't know. It shows how small people's ideas of creativity can go, even though it's actually pretty creative. Never mind. Let's move on. Let me take some water. All right. The main effect of the northern snakehead is that they are highly predatory, resulting in them eating mostly fish, but also smaller aquatic animals such as frogs and crawfish. It poses a significant threat to fish populations that it comes into contact with. They also, They also outcompete many native species for food sources. So if some fish are coming along and the northern snakehead feel threatened, they could very well easily just be aggressive and go, I'm going to grab some water, and then go eat those fish. Oh, wait, so we got some water, and so yeah, essentially they outcompete many native species for food sources, which really just harms the balance of the ecosystem. And so the states that have reported northern snakeheads are Arkansas, California, Florida, Illinois, Massachusetts, Maryland, North Carolina, New York, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, and Virginia. So I made this model of the habitat. I wanted to make models for each of the three species I had, just to kind of show, obviously, kind of a symbolic way of what they live in. So, since they live in these swampy, marshy areas, this is my model of like a swamp, and the Lego symbolizes the snakehead, and I just mixed a bunch of outside stuff together to make this visual. So the northern snakeheads receive their names because of their long cylindrical body and scales that cover their head, which give them the appearance of a snake. They also have large mouths and a protruding jaw with teeth similar to those of canines, and you can see the teeth right here. They're not very good looking animals, I'm not gonna lie, but they're interesting ones at that. They've had some bad movies about them, but they're okay. And so to control. So the fish and their eggs cannot be moved through importation or interstate transport, and if any of these fish are found, they are eradicated and controlled through the use of chemical substances. This is shown through the eradication in Crofton in 2002 through the use of rhodonone. So they've used the same chemical also like in the lower Potomac River to eradicate them. So essentially just use these chemicals to get rid of the fish, make sure they don't come back because of the threat they pose. So next up we have cat's claw vine, and its scientific name is McFadyiana unguis cattai and Dolichondra unguis cattai. Its common name is cat claw vine, and its aliases are cat's claw vine or cat's claw creeper. So a bit, spice it up right there. And so its origin. The vine is native to the West Indies and Central and South America, and was most likely brought into the United States as an ornament sometime in the early 20th century before 1947. Because of this, it is unknown the exact date it was introduced, because it was sometime before 1947. So the date and place of introduction. So the exact date is unknown, but the first record of the plant is from a specimen that was found in Dade County, west of Miami in 1957. Yeah. So the cat's claw vine is extremely invasive and disrupts natural communities by moving on and producing thick blankets of vegetation that can easily smother trees and prevent sunlight from getting into to the plants below. In Australia, so let's go to that first part. Basically, as I'll show in a picture later, they can just cover and smother plants going over shotgun houses such as they are in New Orleans, and they disrupt all the plants that are living there and just kill them off and just dominate the area. And so in Australia, multiple of these vines have actually been observed to grow and fuse together over time to form a single mass that looks like the trunk of a tree. So they can fuse together and just cause massive vines. They can also climb really high, and the wind will disperse their seeds, allowing them to travel long distances. So they're just completely versatile. You wouldn't think a vine is really versatile, but this vine is versatile. It is very invasive. Yeah. So the vine is currently found in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Texas, and Louisiana. So this is another one of the models I made. So this is a good old house down in the French Quarter with, you can see on the right side of the house there's a infestation of cat's claw vine. And they're going to have these people that live in this house are going to have an actual tough time getting rid of them. But basically I made this just to show kind of a visual that relates to New Orleans in the way we would see it, how you would see on the side of a house down in the quarter or in surrounding areas with the vine growing on the side of it. And so the appearance, the vine is of course a vine with yellow floral tubes with orange lines in their throats. It has stems up to 6 inches in diameter, and the leaflets are mostly 3 to 7 centimeters long and are oval to lance shaped. So you can see here very closely the actual flower on the floral tube on the vine. And I want to put some examples of them taking over objects. So this is you can see a wall. There's a building back here. I'm sorry, the picture's a bit blurry, but this is completely overtaken the wall. It's past the walkway. It's just only not that much space to even go under now. This shows the vine overtaking a fence, and this I honestly can't even tell what this is because it's just the vine completely just takes over. And so control. So the first steps taken to control the vine is to prevent and remove existing plants in the area they are found in, hopefully before seeds are produced. The public is told to refrain from buying and planting the plant because of its ability to escape areas. Lastly, continual cutting and removal of the vine will result in eventual control over it. I couldn't really find a picture of anybody controlling it, so I kind of put a picture of a cat, and it's getting its claws trimmed, but I didn't want to put that because that's a bit too simple. And then I put a picture of a cat's claw over the cat because they're cutting down the cat claw. Get it? Hey, this is terrible. So next up we have the Siberian chipmunk. Its scientific name is Eutamia sibericus, and its common name is Siberian chipmunk. Its aliases are common. They call them common chipmunk. All right. So its origin. The Siberian chipmunk originated in eastern Asia from central Russia to China, Korea. From central Russia to China, Korea, and northern Japan. It was introduced to Europe in the 1960s as a pet. So the date and place of introduction. Again, in the 1960s, the chipmunk was introduced to Europe as a pet, but since the 1970s, populations have been observed in suburban forests and urban parks. They were released by their owners or escaped from captivity, and that is why you would just see them roaming in a park. It's not because they just appeared there, it's because they were released from their owners or escaped. So Siberian chipmunks have a very, I find, interesting impact. They have a very negative impact on humans because they eat crops and damage gardens, which of course hurts our food supply. And they have the possibility to injure humans or kill them because they carry diseases. They are able to survive and spread these diseases. And one big example is Lyme disease. They also kind of help, though. I just wanted to include this. Just because they disperse seeds and fungal spores, which help in forest rejuvenation, which kind of goes back to our previous lesson and test about after a forest fire would tear it down, and like succession and all that. I just wouldn't include that. But the concern of Lyme disease is much more significant than all of this, because I mean, there's literally just a chipmunk running around that could just spread disease everywhere, which is obviously very negative. And so the Siberian chipmunk is found in North America, Russia, China, northern Japan, Belgium, France, Switzerland, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Austria. So it's just it was kind of just my model of a habitat, and it was just a field that is a log that I just grabbed from outside, and so I put a Lego and some like fuzzy stuff together and made a little chipmunk, and it's just a picture of how, like, the chipmunk sitting on the log. It's essentially their habitat. They're just in forests and parks, so this is kind of a view you would see at a park. And their appearance. So I think this is probably the cutest animal on my list. The animals themselves are 18 to 25 centimeters in length, and they have fur on the back, which is yellow to brown, with white fur on their chests and bellies. They also have 5 dark and 4 light-colored stripes that run down the back of them. You can see these stripes from the backs right here, and the white fur on their chests and bellies. I included a cute picture of a chipmunk with, I'm guessing, nuts in its mouth. I just thought it'd be a cute little pictures. And so, control. So, since the chipmunks are widespread and just everywhere, they are not actively being controlled, even being dubbed least concern by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Yeah. And that is it. Fin. Thank you for listening to my project.